city of angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 411 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. Calling this one striking distance, as the boys find themselves all of a sudden within striking distance of top in the West. Yes, it is real. It is an opportunity. Will it be hard to get there? Oh, yeah. There are definitely teams ahead of us. Will we need a little bit of help? Yeah, probably. But it's close. The percentages look good if we can win these games out. And that's always the story. Of course, we're going to cover our last win, the form the boys are in. We're going to also preview the next match, talk a little bit about international duty. Yeah, that's real too. And yes, get you some LAFC 2 updates. So it is on. It is busy. The playoff push is here. We've got Bam. We've got Tony. We've got Araceli in the mix tonight. So yes, the Avengers have assembled. Araceli, how are you doing tonight?
Actually doing really well. I mean, if I'm being honest, more mentally preparing myself for this weekend. There's just a lot of events going on in town. And of course, Next Pro's decision day is this Sunday, which naturally I'll explain a little bit more later in the show. But this week just been nonstop meetings, to say the least.
The push, for sure. Beyond busy, and we know that, and we're beyond thankful that you are here. I know we've got some not so great LAFC 2 news. We'll get in that a little bit, but again, late night, making it happen on the pod again. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. It was a good long weekend last weekend. Got to watch the AFL Grand Final. Happy with the result. It was tight for the first half, and then Brisbane just blew them away in the second half, which was good. My bank account's a lot better because of it, because me being who I am, had a couple of bets on there. Watching our game was a great game. Should have been a penalty, and it should have been Son's hat trick, but Son, being the man he is, knows that Bouanga's after a bigger target, so was always going to give the penalty to Bouanga, which I like. The fact that Bouanga's like, go for the hat trick, he's like, no, you're going for something bigger. We need to do that. Looking forward to getting into this weekend. Just did some research, and I have some good news going into this weekend's game.
Good news. Shall we share it now?
Doing some research, Bouanga's no longer one yellow away from suspension. He's played in 5 games without receiving a yellow card or a red card, so he gets 1 yellow card taken off him. So he now needs 2 cards for yellow cards for a suspension.
There we go. So a glimmer of hope on that front. Of course, international match days might make that a bit complicated. He kind of had a free pass this week, let's be honest. But hey, that's okay. We'll take that off the list. Tony, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited for hopefully a run that we've been predicting, I guess, since we've been starting the magic numbers, and we knew this was in the cards if we kept doing what we needed to do, because that's all we needed to do. We'll talk about it later of what those magic numbers, but in the past couple of weeks when we started talking about them, we knew this was an opportunity to pounce on. But again, we didn't expect what in the last 3 games of what was going to happen and the chemistry that has been building with Son and Bouanga. So now with those chances and the way we are doing, we went from, hey, we're going to make the playoffs, we'll see how far we go, to, hey, now we're just, let's talk about a big run maybe to the finals.
I mean, you look at the rest of the league, and we said we needed help, right, to get where we needed to get, on top of having the good form. Well, the good form showed up, but the rest of the league legit are looking a little tired at the moment. They're giving us openings. Now, yes, we will cover that a bit more, but yeah, again, we call it striking distance. We really do mean it. All of a sudden, the numbers are more on our side than we would have thought it would have been, but we are here. Of course, that requires results, and thankfully, the latest result went exactly as needed, as we had to play St. Louis on the road, who, let's be honest, has had a rough year, but we're looking like they had a promising last few matches. under new leadership, of course. And of course, on the road, we've had some not so great history. That is before Sonny showed up. So, yes, we head over to St. Louis. Got to take care of business. You got to get the job done. This time around, we did go back to the 3-4-3. We're almost perfect in our prediction of what the lineup was outside of one player. So basically, Lloris was in goal. Tafari, Segura, and Porteous were your center backs. Smolikov and Palencia were the outside backs, also midfield, so they were all over the place. And then Delgado and Chouanier were your holding mids. Sonny and Bouanga, of course, were up top, but this time we had Morin come in. Yes, a different look, but not shocking as Tillman took that role at some point as well. So, yes, some midfielders stepping up high, turning into wings as needed. So that was the lineup for the boys. On the other side of things, St. Louis City actually came out with a 4-3-3. Yes, Berkey was back in goal. Fall, Baumgartel were in the back. Vollem and Paddleford were their outside backs with Hartel, Durkin, and Lovin taking care of midfield. Of course, up top, Klaus was up there. McSorley was on the wing, and Songbin was on the wing as well. So not entirely shocking lineup. They had what they had. We, of course, had our best possible lineup in the moment. And, of course, we let it rip. And, of course, it didn't take long. It's kind of the LAFC way these days. It used to be where we'd have to work into games. We're just in the games. Right, Tony? I'll give it to you, sir. Highlights of the match?
First, we'll start with a low light because it affects the second half a lot. In the third minute, Sanbin goes in for a hard tackle against Lloris, remnants of the MLS Cup final. Kind of went in, got a yellow card. Up to you to see if it's a red or not. Studs, everything, but still a good knock on Lloris. Good job on Lloris on finishing the half for that, but it's concerning moving forward. But as from that came in probably a spirit of everything like that, a mental lapse from St. Louis was the best way to say it. Wonga capitalized on it, gives him one-on-one with the keeper, easy goal, puts us up 1-0. And from that point on, it seems like St. Louis was trying to be rough with us, and we were giving it right back with a lot of give and go and stuff and everything. And I just don't think we'll say this side because again, most of our starters and most of our players are not there, but this new side of what we have is a little bit more chippy, a little bit more giving it to them is the best way to say it. You saw that with Palencia moving forward in the game. But then in the pretty much in extra time, you have Smolikov again. Great addition. I remember when we first talked about him, we knew this was going to be a great addition to it. Finds Son and puts the goal away, and we're up 2-0 into the half.
Even funnier, he basically walked the opponent into the goal. Like, the over-respect. You could call it that. Yeah, what is he going to do next? Well, he's going to walk into the goal and make it look easy yet again, which he did. And, of course, going into the half with the 2-0 lead is exactly what you need to do or better. But, again, multi-goal first half. Things look right. Poor Lloris, that was a brutal hit to take. Kudos to him for finishing the half. I mean, it was really brutal. It was. Bam, your thoughts on that first half performance?
The first half, again, that brutal hit was just not needed, not called for. The fact that it was just a yellow, you sit there and go, what's going on there? Obviously, Bouanga's son, 1-2, 2 goals at halftime. Going in at halftime at 2-0, I don't like. To me, it is the worst scoreline at halftime. It's plain and simple. How many times have we gone in 2-0, or any team's gone in 2-0, and it's just gone downhill from there? I hate going 2-0, 3-1. 2 goals is not enough at halftime. But looking at the way it went, again, the assist by Smolikov to Son was just perfect. And just walked in. At the moment, we're too spoiled. I'm liking this, but we are too spoiled. So, yeah, the first half was really good, and I was proud of where the boys went.
Exactly. So, second half begins. Of course, the change is needed. Hassal comes in for Lloris, I think more for precautionary reasons than anything else, because he seemed to be fine. He didn't leave the field. He stayed on the bench, seemed comfortable in the moment. Didn't look too frustrated as well. I think, again, playing it safe is the best bet as we make this playoff run. You have a 2-0 lead, a competent backup goalkeeper. Yeah, you let it rip. And, of course, Saul kind of needs a good day. Let's be real. And so this was a good chance for him. Second half begins. Takes a little while, but guess what? The show continues, right, Tony?
Yeah, same scoreline as we ended the first half. It goes back again. Smolikov to Sun. Again, pushes up, and then we're expecting. This is where we, of course, in our chat make the joke of, spoiler alert, Sun doesn't get the hat trick, but he was trying to. And, we were like, blow up the team, sell everybody, season's over. Like, as just having fun with it, as I even posted on Instagram when we won about, we suck, everything, just because of the spoils we have, like, these, where are we going to get a back to back hat trick, which is, again, unheard of in league play. I think in any league, it doesn't matter if it's MLS to Bundesliga to anything, to have multiple players, not just one player, but multiple players have a hat trick back to back in games in league play. And luckily for us as well, also, Thomas had a great showing in the goal. Luckily, there was a goal pulled back because of an offsides call and called back. And then, there was some chippiness at the end, of course, back and forth. Klaus didn't really like Palencia, didn't like most of our players, is the best way to say it. It started with Palencia and moved on to other players. But at the end of the day, we end up this goal with 3-0, 3 more points, making it look, again, as we said it before and just wrapping it all up, we control our destiny of what place we do it. It doesn't matter. Yes, do we need chips to fall to get what we need to do? 100%. But we said this when we started the magic numbers, like we do every season when it gets to this point. We control the destiny, and leading up to it, it's looking like first, second, third is the more guaranteed possibility at this moment in time because of the goals in hand and the way we're going. But we can shoot higher and see where we can go.
Well, yeah, a week ago we were talking about 4th and 5th and fighting Seattle for 4th or 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about fighting Minnesota and Vancouver and San Diego to who finishes in top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets pushed to 4th. Now you're in the conversation. No guarantees, right? Everybody's got to get their points and do what they need to do, but openings are there. We have less losses than some of these guys. Vancouver is a little tougher story, but it's there. I mean, this will be a fight to the very end, and the boys earned it. The hard work gets them where they are. This match could have ended 4-0. There was a penalty that was brought back. Questionable, to be honest. But we still created a situation where that did happen. And when you keep creating these opportunities, good things happen to you. Also, in terms of the chippiness, I kind of get it. This was St. Louis's final call, right? They had to get a result or mathematically be done. They were done in. Again, another team. We did this to RSL, kind of made their day rougher than it needed to be. So here we go with St. Louis again. So I get the desperation. It makes perfect sense. With the result, Araceli, how are you feeling about LAFC at this stage? Are we all kind of having a big party at this point?
As much as I like to party, I would try my best to stay a little optimistic because, of course, even though we've already clinched a playoff spot, you and I both know crazier things have happened with this short amount of games that are coming up. But given the game itself, I will say I can't comment too much on the run-up play because I was doing Next Pro coverage at the same time. So I kind of had the game going on in the background. But based on the result itself, I'm not too surprised given the current state that St. Louis is in. But of course, a win is a win, and it just adds to our advantage at the end of the day.
Yeah, stringing wins together. Here's the fun part. In terms of goal difference, we were chasing 2 weeks ago. Now we're looking like we're 2 goals away from matching the best goal difference in the West. Yeah, it's there. We're even getting the goal difference to fall in our way. Talk about a reversal. Sonny's now the second leading scorer on the team. Yeah, it's like that. It's been fun to watch. Got to keep the boys healthy, of course. And yeah, the international match day too will play in. So good results for the guys. What does that mean for us numbers wise? Where are we sitting? Well, in terms of the playoff hunt, as it stands now, if trends remain, Vancouver is still a 54% chance to finish first, only a 27% chance to finish second if typical numbers fall. The wins the normal, right? San Diego, because they've lost some important games, they're actually drawn some games they shouldn't have drawn. They're only a 16% chance of even getting into first place, only a 29% chance of finishing second, and a 33% chance of finishing third. Yeah, it's real for them. Minnesota, the team that has nothing in hand, right? And they're chasing with their 55 points, only 2 points up on us, again, with the games missing. They're a 55% chance now of finishing in fourth. Way higher than all the others. 31% chance of third, just as it stands right now. And then comes LAFC, 29% chance of first, 31% chance of second, 23% chance of third. Talk about volatility. They're all kind of level, those numbers, really close to each other. So it says that, what does that mean? Well, that means that we control our destiny, as Tony said. It's our results that control this. So you're like, well, what does it mean if things really, really go well? All right. Well, let's talk about best and worst case scenarios, just including the Atlanta game coming up. A win against Atlanta, followed by a loss by the Whitecaps and a loss by San Diego just this week. Okay. Would put us at a 64% chance of first place. A lot has to fall, right? That includes the Earthquakes beating the Caps and Dynamo taking out San Diego. But just on that, you see how quickly things sway for us. It can happen. Now, if we completely just win it out, international match days be damned, right? 4 out of 4, you'd be an 84% chance of finishing first if you go 4 for 4. 3 of 4, 56% chance of second. 2 of 4, your odds are in favor of finishing about third. Okay, still small percentage for second place. And then only 1 of 4, you're locked in at fourth place. So it's looking to us right now, even if you go over 4, that's still a 90% chance of fourth place. Now, you see, we're not talking about away on the opening days or anything. No, we're talking about hosting at this point. Where do we want to host, right? What's our seed? That's what we've come to now. Pretty darn good, I got to say. But they got to finish the job. They got to keep the momentum as others falter. So that is where we're at. Bam, how are you feeling now that the numbers have kind of switched about a bit?
Feeling weird. The fact that, Vancouver's got a game in hand.
Yeah.
And they're equal on points with San Diego. Like, you go back 2 months ago, we all thought, yeah, San Diego's got it. They're running away with it. Whatever. San Diego's just hit a slump. They're not producing like they did beginning of the season. It's interesting to watch seeing them. Don't want to say collapse, but starting to fold and pressure's getting to them and all that kind of stuff. Other teams started figuring out how they play, and it's interesting to see how they're not changing much to stop that. With us having obviously 2 games in hand above them, you look at it going, we've got 4 games left. Vancouver's got 3. Minnesota and San Diego's got 2.
Yep.
It's going to be decision day is going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say. Decision day is going to be fun.
Those traveling to Colorado will have a very entertaining day. Oh, who's that? Oh, yeah, Tony's volunteering as tribute to go to Colorado and support the boys up there. So you'll have a friend if you go, everybody, because Tony will be there. Looking at it now, I'll say this. San Diego reminds me of us in our expansion season. Dare I say it? Why? We were hot going in, and then we had this August rut, if you all remember, right? And then kind of found ourselves about September, thought, oh, we're still bulletproof, right? This is such a good expansion team. And then got RSL'd. Certain goalkeeper stood on his head, time wasting, all that fun stuff. We got taught a lesson on how to function in the playoffs. We didn't know this. We didn't play like we knew it. And got taught a lesson how MLS Cup playoffs work. Tighten up, people. That's how it goes. San Diego's now in this case, but in this case, it's the September lull rather than the August lull. And it's too close to the end, and now they've got to find themselves with only a few games left. Or could find themselves bounced out, just like we suffered back in the day. Vancouver, on the other hand, they have the Thomas Mueller effect, just like we have the Sonny effect. The bounce is real. They've been playing good all year, though. Let's be honest. The Whitecaps they've been great. But it helps to have that talent, and they don't even need him. That's the craziest thing, is they're playing so well right now. Even when he's out of the lineup, they don't miss a beat. They've got it down. So that's the team we chase. That's the hard one. There won't be that face off, right? We kind of lost that opportunity earlier in the year, but still can find a way. We can find a way. Tony, how do you like our odds, sir?
I like our odds. It's similar to what we had last season. Hopefully, we don't end up repeating like that. Like, I know different team, different aspects of everything that was going on, but we've had this situation where we got first place at the end of the season. Western Conference and all that and everything, and then kind of like putted it is the best way to say it into the playoffs. So it's looking like that, and then, as you said, it's first place, but it's also, should we just let's talk about, I think, the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And the elephant in the room is, if we went out, and a lot of things have said, and probably you've mentioned this, and then I'm just bringing it back, just repeating it, but I just feel like this is a conversation we have to have, and whatever is Supporter Shield.
It's there. It's a chase. A hard chase. Philadelphia's looking proper.
Yes.
I know
but
those guys.
But it's there.
It is there. Yeah.
It goes
could be a decision day conversation, right, Tony?
Exactly. And it's going to be a decision day. And it goes from, all right, we're trying to go for first, to not travel at all, have home cooking the whole way through, to, let's try this again and, rinse and repeat and try to have home court advantage the whole way through, even at MLS Cup final.
Right. Because there's a high probability, say we make it all happen, comes together, we get the performances, we get ourselves all the way to MLS Cup. There's a high probability that team on the other side of the field staring at us, Philadelphia Union, but this time they're the host. It's real. Could happen. They look that part. They look like that team to beat. I know Miami's Miami, but Philly looks like the team to beat over there. We'll pay attention. That's for sure. And again, the Supporter Shield race, pay attention to it, because even though it shows us kind of back a bit, the point differences in game in hand do play for us. We have an advantage there too.
Well, no, that
so we will see. Mm-hmm.
With Philadelphia, for example, yes, last week they played bottom of the table DC United, who are having a shocking year. They're up 3-0 at half after 36 minutes. 50th minute, they're up 5-0. 62nd minute, they're up 6-0. They kept pushing. They didn't let off. They kept pushing. And you look at it too, is they had 5 different goal scorers.
There's a system there, man. They've always been forced to be the team that doesn't have the budget that others do. So they create this unit, right? This system, and they're back at it again. It's dangerous stuff. Yeah. That's for sure.
They know that when they're in for the kill, they don't step off the gas. They go hard, which is what I'd love for us to do is, don't take that foot off the gas. Just keep going. All gas,
which
no
we've
brakes.
done. Since Sonny's come here, that's what we're showing off. Sonny, if you were going to play safe, the last match, Sonny would have come off after the 2 goals. Right? We're good. Get him out of there by the 60th. Classic Dolo. right? But no, we're pushing for the hat trick. We're pushing for the goal difference because, again, we're chasing goal difference. They didn't let up, man. They're taking the risk by having him on the field because we're on a mission here. It's critical. Critical. The form needs to be right. Everything needs to be right. And you got to take everything you can before certain guys leave for international break. That too. Of course, we have the bright news of LAFC. LAC2 news, not so bright. Araceli, again, prepping everything for us. How about LAC2? Let's do a quick switch over to LAFC2, get some comments from you guys as well. Araceli, what is going on with LAFC2 right now?
Well, before I get straight into LAFC2, I do want to mention that there was 2 international call-ups for Panama, that being for Cairo Walters and Eric Diaz. It looks like Walter earned the start this past Tuesday in Panama's 2-1 loss against the Ukraine. Tomorrow, Panama will face Cuba and Guatemala, and this is all for the U20 World Cup. So it's always good to see our boys get those calls, even though the current state of the team, not so great, unfortunately, as LAFC2 did fall to City 2 in the shootout 4-2. Yeah, a lot of twos. It's weird. Anyways, Matt Evans found a breakthrough for the Black and Gold in the 63rd minute, and the boys actually held on to that lead until late into stoppage time when Joyner delivered the final blow, sending both teams to the shootout, which I mentioned unfortunately fell to. And given the final result, the boys have been eliminated from playoff contention. I don't think that's any real surprise to anybody, but considering they did have a good chance at it for the past couple of weeks, it speaks volumes. So it's not all doom and gloom for them. But lastly, they will close their regular season on Decision Day, which is this Sunday, as they host the reigning champions, North Texas SC. It's a 1:00 kickoff. The game will be at USC, and if you're unable to make it, it will be streamed on Apple TV. But just as I've stressed this entire season, please go check them out if you have a chance to, considering this Sunday will actually be their final game of the season, point blank. Plus, it looks like there's going to be a little fun promo with a doubleheader, which I'm sure we'll get into in a second here. But just to kind of clip this off, if anyone is interested in following the league and playoffs, playoffs officially start the week of October 17th with the final. We're aiming at November 8th, but it could be sometime between the 7th and the 9th. So yes, I will be very busy this month.
That's okay. We know what you're up to, and you are definitely going to be busy and looking forward to the coverage. That is for sure. Thank you for covering LAFC2 throughout the season, for keeping us up to date. Better than anyone would expect, and honestly, the energy is much appreciated. Now, it's interesting with the Rawlinson Stadium move for this match. That's basically walking distance back to our home ground. Walking distance. So it is a really cool opportunity for people to jump back and forth to watch both games. There's promos going on. Tony, I'm going to throw it to you because you got the details about that, right?
Correct. It's a doubleheader. If you would like to reach out to myself, also reach out to the Heart of LAFC, Joseph, or anything, because we can get you some comp tickets, I guess is the best way to say it. If you guys are interested, again, it's just an hour walk from the game, doubleheader, support the boys. It's in LA, and it's like their final game to show them support moving forward. So again, it's gonna cost you maybe an hour walk distance, a scooter ride, whatever that costs. I don't even know anymore.
Not even an hour walk.
Exactly. So it's not even that crazy. So if you would like to go to that game, just reach out to myself, reach out to Heart of LAFC, and we can get you to the right people so we can get you a comp tickets and support the boys.
Yeah, it's a good time out. Again, closing things out. Hopefully they close out on a bright note. There are a lot of good young players on the team. The results didn't go our way, but there's a lot of promise and talent, right, Araceli?
Oh, no, definitely. There is a lot. And I even see that Dave is asking, who is looking to make that jump, I'll go ahead and answer that now. Just looking at the current roster, I see like DeCaro Guerra. I believe he has 12 goals on the season. Of course, I would need to double check this. Matt Evans is also a good candidate. Even Cabral Carter, the goalkeeper. So there is a lot of talent on this team. And as I mentioned before, they're even getting international call-ups. So they are being looked at.
Again, it's there. And we just signed another goalkeeper right there. There's faces, guys. There's guys that will make it into our senior roster sooner rather than later, and really will make an impact. I know it. Again, the team is in flux because there's been a lot of changes over the last season. But again, it's for development more than anything else, guys. And that's exactly what's happening for our side. So mentioning the comments, good move there, Araceli. There's a few that I see as well. Let's see who else is on here. Again, Dave is in the mix. Coming straight out of Amsterdam. Actually, it's Dave. It's all about Dave today. And then he did talk about the card accumulation reset in the cup. That is how it usually works. Yeah. Reset for the cup, new tournament, new vibe, new chase. So we'll be okay. And thanks for the LASC 2 comments as well, Dave, because again, perspective. We're building talent. That's what we do here. So thank you for that, Dave. Anyone else with any comments, throw them out there. We will definitely cover them towards the tail end of the episode as we talk about our preview match for Atlanta. Now, I know Tony's already got a kickoff going with the community news talking about the match for LAFC 2, but there's other things going on as well, right, Tony?
Yes. So as you know, this would have been the final game of the season, but we'll say it this way: it is our final tailgate of the season, big one for 3252. We are running an Oktoberfest, so there will be beer availables from different breweries that we'll have. Look to your SG to buy a cup, and we'll go from that. Again, more information will be there at the title. I'd rather keep that one a little bit closer to the chest and stuff like that. And as well as it's also a fan appreciation for the final game of the season. Again, final home game, quotation marks, of the season, because we play Toronto because of a rescheduling of like all the tournaments that we were in this season. But so it'd be, it's going to be fun. Let's enjoy like the fan appreciations like we did, like, with the flowers. And then the gift, as you pretty much have said, has been for DoorDash. No inclusion of what that's going to be. So we'll see on that one. And then, of course, for season ticket holders, check your emails, because playoff tickets have finally been announced as in to buy in. So make sure you check your email to make sure that you are already going to get your playoff tickets for the season, because this is going to be an exciting one. And as you've probably seen in the market, tickets aren't the cheapest at the moment, especially because of the new sensation that we have in the team, but also because winning brings in people, and LA loves a winner. Let's be real. Let's be honest. That's what we are. And you just got to make sure you're on top of that, because you don't know how far this run's going to go.
Exactly. Sonny is everywhere, by the way. He was at the Rams game today. He was
at the Dodger game.
At the Dodgers the night before. The man's getting around, people. He is loving it in Los Angeles. So you might see him wherever you choose to go. If it's a fun spot in LA, he might just be there. Kind of neat. Thank you, Tony, for that. The glass thing is interesting. Should be fun this weekend. And be careful, people. I'll say that as well. Oktoberfest is beautiful as long as you walk away from it. Yeah, legit. All right. On that note, I think we've got the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute. That's what we always do. And Bam is definitely got some nominations. So I'm going to throw it to you, sir. What do you got for Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute this week?
For me, it was helped because of you, because with your work, you're going to a certain place tomorrow for work with a bunch of your kids. So are you allowed to say where you're going? Or
no, I'm not.
But because of that, and people can put this all together if they're smart enough. I'm going to go with a song that came out in 1972. So just way before my time, pretty sure before your time. Going to go with Elton John's Rocket Man.
Love it, man. Amazing song. Definitely an amazing song. Yeah, I like it. Good choice, sir. Another one for that mix that Tony's still trying to build. So have fun with that, Tony.
I was tossing up between that and some what's been called as bogan funk in Australia.
What is that?
I'll save it for next week.
Okay. Gotcha. Like it. Good choice this week, sir. Anybody else have nominees? Going once, going twice. No Bad Bunny calls. Amazing.
Not yet.
We'll leave it at that. Maybe next week. All right. Moving on to it. I know why you're all here. You want to talk about Atlanta United because nobody wants to talk about Atlanta United unless they're playing them. So here we go. LAC versus Atlanta United this Sunday. That's right. Fan Appreciation Day, as Tony says. 6 p.m. kickoff. LAC, of course, 53 points on the season. You know how it is, putting in work. Atlanta United, on the other hand, 27 points on the season, 14th place in the East, I believe. 5, 12, and 14 record. Yes, it hasn't gone so well. Ownership is talking about big changes in the offseason. Legit, they are. And it is, of course, needed. They've been in the woods for a bit. They're still in the woods. Yeah, I expect a lot. You're going to see a roster that's going to change a lot by next season. That is for certain. Now, are they getting run over by everybody? I wouldn't say that. They've been kind of entertaining in some places. I think they had a 5-4 loss to Columbus back in September 13th. That's pretty wild stuff. They did tie San Diego. Right. Respect them. They took San Diego to a 1-1 draw at home on the 20th, and then recently lost to the Revs 2-0 on the road, where they did have some opportunities, just didn't get the job done. So again, not looking so great, but still capable. As tough as the season has been, only 5 wins for the whole darn year. I know. Now, who stands out for them? There's a few. We have Emmanuel Let. I think I said that right. 7 goals on the season, 27 games played. That's their leading scorer. That's how you know how rough it is. Then they have Moranchuk with 6 goals. Miguel Almiron still doing it. 5 goals on the season. Jamal Ter with 5. Again, spread about, but no one's really taken over. Assist-wise, Lobanidze has 7 goals. Assists. Moranchuk has 6 assists as well. Again, they spread it out, but no one's really taken charge this year and really taken that leadership role. It's been a rough year. That is for sure. Bam, you've looked at this side and what they've gone through over the year. What are your thoughts about the Atlanta United situation?
They had so much promise with all their signings, getting some players back, like Almiron back, but they've just failed this year. It's plain and simple. They have just failed. I watch whenever I get a chance to, I listen to a podcast and a Twitch stream called Soccer Down Here, based out of Atlanta. Some really good guys on there. They obviously talk about Atlanta, and in their Discord, they have a lot of Atlanta fans and all that. Even they're upset about this year, about how poorly they're going. They're calling for everyone's heads. Like, they are very disappointed with what's going on. They don't know what can do. I did mention in their Discord that, depending on international call-ups, we might be missing players, but thankfully we're not. And their first response I got was, no, we need you all to win to keep driving more nails into the coaching job's coffin.
I've seen teams like this where the loss is the best thing to ever happen to you because it means better times ahead. It's real for Atlanta, people. Yeah.
It is. And it's, as I said, like the people that I've talked to in the Twitch stream from Atlanta, really nice guys. Highly recommend if you do get a chance, listen to some of their stuff. But they are going down a deep hole right now, and I do feel for him for a little bit, but at the same time, it's fun for us because hopefully we can just be pounding more goals on them.
Yeah, get those 3 points. Again, don't scare us with a good time here. I guess we've got to just take care of business for them as well as us. But it's wild because the payroll is not cheap, right? They are paying like it's hurting. They don't have a lot of money to play with either because of these high payroll players that aren't producing. So it's been rough. Now I look at the last 2 games, how they fielded it. One game they had actually most games they play with a 4-2-3-1 setup. Sometimes can switch to 4-3-3 at times, but last game that I saw, I think they had Hebert in goal. Gregerson and Berrocal were their center backs, with Hernandez and Amador as their outside backs, and Alzate and Schließ as their holding midfielders. Moranchuk was their playmaker, with Lobanjaz. Oh, I will mess his name up every time. Lobanidze and Al Noron, they're outside midfielders, and then Tiari up top. That was last game. Before that, pretty much the same story. Even though things are bad, they're just kind of sticking with what they got to close out the season. Yeah. Rough times. But again, dangerous times for us because a team like this could hurt you. They need to find every reason. At this point, guys are playing for their paychecks next year. And that there's nothing more desperate than that. So will not be easy. They did steal points from a team that we're chasing. So that does count for something. Yeah, Tony, your thoughts, man? Shaking his head.
Kind of have no thoughts on them right at the moment. Like it's just been a bad season for them. Like just to see the fall of Atlanta has been very like depressing because it was just like at the beginning they started off so well and like I mean they're I guess they were almost the playbook, the blueprint of like how a expansion team should start off, and now it's just like something got lost in the communication or somewhere, and it's just been I don't know.
Well, yeah, we thought they were going to be another Seattle type, right? Perennial threat, going to make it to Champions League on the regular. Money's been thrown down. They have the ownership that wants to spend the money, that's built an amazing training center, that's focused on also youth development. Like the money is there, the purpose is there, but the personnel just aren't getting the job done. It's tough, really tough times. Araceli, your thoughts on Atlanta and what they're bringing to the table this week?
I mean, just generally speaking, kind of like how Tony pointed out, it's really sad to see the decline of the club because when they first started out, they were essentially the league favorite. And now to watch where they are currently in the last couple of years, it's unfortunate, but it's not new. And we've seen this with other clubs. So I'm sure they're going to bounce back at some point in the next couple of years. But also to your point of where you were saying that these players are playing for their paycheck now, which is true. Looking at the standings, not only are they still playing for their spot, but just for pride, I guess, it looks like they're in competition with DC and the Galaxy to avoid the wooden spoon, which is an honor that no club wants. So my only concern with them is that they're already eliminated. They have nothing to lose at this point, and hopefully LAFC doesn't fall into that trap.
And trap is the right word. This is what you consider a trap game. Yes, we have the talent. It sounds like most will be here, and I know Bam will cover that in a few seconds. But this, again, is the wounded animal you all have to worry about. This is the one. You got to get through this one, move on to the next. But yeah, you can't look past these guys. Well, what's the next game? What's the next game? No, this is the one. You have to focus on it, take it seriously, and again, show no mercy. You have to go hard. You have to treat it like a playoff game if you're going to finish where you want to finish. So that is where we're at. So that brings it to us. What are we going to bring to the table? How are we going to approach this? One, Fan Appreciation Day at home. You know the home cooking for LAFC. They aren't going to hold back. They've got a lot to play for. Lineup situation, though, that's where it gets a bit complicated. As we know, a lot of our players have been called up. The question is, when are they reporting for duty? When are they leaving town? We've seen some of the younger kids already leave because they're in an actual tournament. Are we going to have guys available? And I give it to you, Bam. Who's in? Who's out? What's it looking like at this point?
For me, it's looking like they'll all be here for this game, which is really good. Sun obviously got called up. Gabon hasn't announced anything yet. El Salvador hasn't announced anything yet. So looking at that for me, is like they'll definitely be here. With South Korea, their game isn't until, I want to say, the 9th. So he's got a couple of days, or it'll be the 10th for him in Korea. So it'll be early morning for you guys on the 10th. So he's got a couple of days where he can obviously get there and climb into hay. Obviously, with him playing here, the national team will look at it and go, well, that's some training for him. So that's all well and good. So I look at it as Sun will be here. As I said, Gabon hasn't announced anything yet. El Salvador hasn't announced anything yet. So for me, they should all those players should be here ready for this game, which I know we're going to enjoy, and I know Atlanta fans will enjoy, because that means that we'll be firing all cylinders against Atlanta.
There it is. Let's do the service we need to do. All right, so that brings it to the lineup. And what are we going to field for this match? Lloris isn't listed as questionable. He's listed as available today. I would have to assume he gets the minutes. Hassal's fine, but you're in a playoff chase. Do we all agree that if he's ready to go, he's gonna go? Tony?
Yeah. But it's the playoff. Like, I don't see why not.
Right. It's got to happen. Then it brings it to the back line. Tafari, Segura, Porteous last match. Changes. Do we expect any? Bam?
No, I'm going to say it's going to be Tafari and Porteous again. That's a smart play.
Yeah. 3 center backs again, are you thinking?
Yeah.
It works. All right. I'm going to give Araceli the more complicated role. If we're going to go with the 3 center backs, that means we're going wing back, right? And we're going with the 2 holding midfielders. Who do you have as your outside backs? Who do you have as your controlling midfielders?
You always have to give me the hard one.
The hard one. Better question. Is it Hollingshead on the day, or is it Smolikov?
I say Smolikov.
Ooh, more rest for Ryan. All right.
Like he's been holding it down.
And then Palencia, I think he's automatic for everybody at this point, right?
Pretty much. I say so.
Yeah. We need that salty vibe that he gives. Love it. Love the sandpaper. All right, holding midfielders. We had Delgado, Chouanier last time. Does it remain the same, Araceli?
I mean, if it works, I say go for it.
Ooh, Bam's shaking his head. We have some disagreement. What do you think, Bam?
Tillman's back. Unfortunately, Chouanier sits. Tillman comes back in.
Okay. And honestly, the chemistry between Tillman and Sun is top notch. So I'm not opposed. His form is up. Tony, your midfield?
Keep it the same. It's been working well. There's nothing really to change. Maybe we'll have this conversation more when we talk about it for Wednesday, if we do. But
yeah, for sure. I mean, Chouanier, I'm in the Chouanier fan club. So if he's available, I want him on the field. That's just me. I think he's bringing something to the table that we've missed for most of the year.
I agree completely. I like Chouanier to stay, but for what I'm going to say is going to be the top 3, Chouanier has to sit because Tillman will just walk straight back in.
He needs to. He needs it. Well, that, of course, makes it complicated because Morin was your right wing last match, and Tillman's had that role as well lately. So does that happen, or does Mr. Martinez get the role since I guess the rumor is he was declined the chance to leave to play for his national team? At least that's the rumor. the hubbub right now. We know Sonny and Bwanga, like they're available, they're playing. It's the guy next to him. That's where it gets complicated. Tony, I look at you again. More than last time. Martinez is available. What are you going to do in this role?
Martinez, to be honest, like if he's going to be pretty much our star player once Sonny and Bwanga are out on international leave and we're not letting him go, let's give him the minutes so he can be informed by the time the pressure is everything on him.
There you go. And of course, substitutions. We have plenty of opportunities to fix things. So that's a good thing. Araceli, is it who's your right wing for this match?
Oof.
Or outside attacker? I mean, these guys always float anyway.
Oh no, I'm kind of leaning towards Martinez, but like you said, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. All right. And Bam, since you think that Tillman's going to drop low, who's going to go up high?
Ordaz.
If available, right?
Well, he wasn't listed as questionable last game, so they might have just left him at home for that. So I reckon they're going to bring Ordaz straight back in, and he'll be. And then if he needs to come off early or come off in the 60th minute, it'll be a Martinez straight swap.
There you go. Now, we mentioned being available. There's only 3 that I see listed so far on the injured list, which means it's shrunk magically, right?
That is.
So Odin Holm no longer listed. De La Valle no longer listed. I know, right? That's new. That's nice. So yes, there's some other faces out there. All right. So it looks like we've got what we want to see here. The youngsters lining up with Sonny, lining up with Bwanga. Of course, ISO Speed is not taken to the field, but he did play like a crossbar challenge this week. Honestly, social media for LAFC has been on point. We've got that going on. Nico Tafari was at Comic-Con this weekend signing autographs with the special edition posters that they also had off of a late flight back from St. Louis. I know. They're around.
Did you get one?
I got all 3. Yeah. It was an X-Men, a Stranger Things, and what was the third one? I don't know. It worked out that way because the kids wanted one for themselves, and they ended up having all 3 different styles. A ton of people showed up too, guys. So good on everybody that went out to Comic-Con. It was a lot of fun. That's for sure. And again, mostly to Tafari for coming out on short rest to show up for the fans. Well done. Well done, sir. Much appreciated. So, yes, the boys are out and about. You'll catch them around. I think Bwanga was doing autographs too. But yes, they're ready to go. This weekend should be a lot of fun. Araceli, what do the boys have to do to finish off Atlanta? How do they have to perform on the day?
Just really keep the pressure high and keep the momentum going if they're able. And, like I said a second ago when we were talking about Atlanta, they're going to come in, set up that trap, and they'll do anything to avoid the wooden spoon, just straight out. So hopefully the boys don't fall for it.
Right. Don't get suckered into it. Stay healthy, people. Tony, what do they got to do, man?
Just continue this momentum that we're going, finishing I guess the best way to say is the vibes, the passing, the creativeness of what we've been seeing on the field. And that's, I think, the key point is the creativeness in the midfield from our defenders to our of course, our midfielders. But of course, we don't have to worry about Bwanga being attacked now more than often. As I said before, between us, he has more freedom to move around because now we have to worry about Son, and that opens the field, and hopefully it opens up for Martinez to get a goal in as well.
There it is. I hope for it. I really do. And of course, Smolikov and Palencia with the deliveries. It's been good. It's been good. Bam. What do they got to do, man? What's going to get us the result this week?
Foot on the gas, keep going. Once you get their neck under your foot, just keep pressing on it. Do not give them an inch. Keep going. I like the fact that we kept a clean sheet last game. I would like to see another clean sheet. If for some reason Hugo isn't up for it, then the second half of last game, we're just going to keep doing that again. It's just keep the clean sheet. That's the main thing. Our defense has been on
Yeah.
point.
Read.
I'm feeling for Hollingshead right now because Smolikov has gotten in and he's kept Hollingshead out of the lineup. But I know Hollingshead looks at it and goes, "This kid is something." So let's get all this going and just keep the foot on the gas. That's the main thing. Score a goal, reset, score a second one, reset, score a third, reset. Just keep scoring goals.
He's not getting any younger, and maybe a little bit of rest is a good thing, right? He's still going to come in form. We know this already. It's the Hollingshead vibe, and the substitution is always available. It's nice to have options everywhere. It's good. And like the boys, like Bam said, yeah, keep the gas on. I think we need a third goal to get a result. Critical. This time around, like I said, 2's dangerous. 3, get the job done, people. All right, couple comments from the faithful, and then we're closing this bad boy out. Let's see. We've got an old friend, Jason Ariano, former host of the show, man. Fam. He says, "What's up, guys? It's got a show at the Glass House. We'll be listening on my drive home." Yeah, he went to a concert tonight. Love it. Love it that you're on. And David Day says, "Shield Hope still alive." I love like the CD icon. That's awesome for the Shield. It gets the vibes. Like it, man. Good stuff. You're right, dude. It is still alive. Amazingly enough. A month ago, we weren't thinking about that, but we are now. Love it. Love it about this team. Thanks, guys. A couple more comments from all of you. Keep it going, guys. Do not hesitate. Even after recording, we've had some really cool comments from the faithful. They just keep firing them off, and it's good, dude. We like hearing from you guys. It's much appreciated. And we might hear from you guys about the LAC2 match, so keep that up too. All right. On that note, is what we do every week. We give our final thoughts before closing another beautiful episode out. So I will start this time with Tony. Final comments, sir. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts is, coming to the end of the season, well, of course, it's October. It's getting winter. It's going to get a little bit darker. Not much sunlight. So check up on everybody else to make sure they're okay. Having conversations. A lot of football is happening, American and regular. Of course, MLB playoffs are also going in. So, if you can catch a game live or at a bar, it's a good way just to communicate with everything else. And then the last thing I think I would say is pretty much always remember, and I preach this at the end of the day, is players come and go, but the colors stay true no matter what, through thick and thin. No one is ever bigger than the club, so always remember that. We cheer as a unit, we go hard as a unit, and yes, there will be some outstanding players that we get in, but at the end of the day, we as a community, we as a supporter group, we as fans make the club what the club is.
Exactly. That's our identity. It's always been community first. May it never abandon that goal. So well said, my friend. That brings it, of course, talking about community. Bam, you have the floor, sir. Your final thoughts on the day.
Final thoughts. Everyone going into the games weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Look after each other. Although you guys are going into winter, I'm coming into spring at the moment, which means we're getting to summer. So for me, daylight savings hits this weekend. So clocks go back an hour, which is going to be nice. Extra sunlight. So for me, you'll be able to do some more work after work and be able out in the sunshine around the house, which is perfect. Again, although this is like your last home game, obviously one more still to go and all that kind of stuff, with playoffs going and all that, remember during the off season that just because you're not watching this soccer together with each other, you can still go out and catch up with each other. As Tony said, go watch some MLB playoffs. Ice hockey starting up soon. They're in the preseason games right now. The NBA will be kicking off soon. Go watch some gridiron if you want. Go to the bar and watch some English Premier League. Watch some A-League that will be kicking off soon. There are many things out there that you can go and watch. Go watch the F1s. There's F1s this weekend too, Although it'll be a bit late for you guys to watch that because, Tony, what time does the F1 this weekend for you?
Yeah.
Like 6, 5? something like that.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if you get up that time, go grab a coffee and go watch some F1s. Just look out for each other. As I say, episode after episode, mental health matters. We all need it at times. You know, reach out, talk to someone. Even if it's not you that needs the help, one of your friends you don't know about it. And for those in the LA area, as I always say, there is a helpline for you guys that need it. It's 800-854-7771, or you can call, text, or chat with 988.
There it is. Thank you for that. Bam. Right on point. Again, when you say community, you look out for community. Essential. And again, stay busy, get busy, do something out here. And then when the season does end, we're talking, you know, December-ish, go check out Philly at some of those indoor soccer matches because those are blasts, actually. So that too. Yep. All love, MSL. There you go. Araceli, your final thoughts of the day as we lead into another amazing MLS weekend.
My final thoughts are simple. Just wishing everyone a fun and safe weekend, whether if you're going to a fall festival or even the doubleheader on Sunday. And for the home match, like we've said all season, and even you guys mentioned this as well, stay safe. Don't be stupid. Always have a plan B, whether that's an Uber, a friend. Just making sure you get to and from the stadiums safe and healthy. But otherwise, like always, just have a lot of fun. I know Sunday, for me, generally speaking, is going to be a very busy day with decision day for Next Pro. Again, if anyone is interested to tune in, all the fun kicks off at 10 a.m. your time. So, well, for me, I get to sleep in, but for you guys, it's early. Time zones. Anyways, it's going to be a great weekend. And yeah, just looking ahead, I think you guys have me for another 2 weeks. Then I'll probably be gone because of playoffs. But of course, I'll keep you updated.
There we go. Always keeping us updated, always making it happen again. Amazing work this season, Araceli. Keep it up. Now the busy season even more so occurs. So enjoy Decision Day this Sunday. We can't wait to hear the highlights. That is for sure. And on that note, my final thoughts to all of you. One, thank you, all of you, for supporting us year in and year out. 411 episodes in. Y'all rock. We get into this playoff push. The magic numbers are here. Definitely pay attention. Enjoy. Watch the other games in the league. They all have an effect on us now. So, yes, have fun with that too. And again, like Bam says, look out for each other as we get into another busy week and things just keep progressing on as fall is upon us. So on that note, thank you all. Have another lovely night. And of course, before we close it out, the final word of the day. Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Bam.
Stay golden.
Araceli.
Stay golden.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.